Go.
3, 2, 1.
E2 Performance.
Welcome back to another episode of E2 Performance.
Coach's Lounge.
Coach's Lounge. We feel like it's been a while since we've done this.
It's been a hot, sexy minute.
We appreciate your patience, but hey, we got stuff to do too. I don't even know why we couldn't find time, but those were a couple of rough weekends, just busy.
2 weeks. We've been doing this for a year and a bit, and that's the first time we missed.
Yeah.
Been hot.
Like actually missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, how's your workouts going?
I've been putting in about 20 to about 24 kilometers per week of running.
About 5K? 5K a day?
Different, some of them are 5K, some of them are 3, some of them are just different paces, some of them are intervals. So bunch of 800s, bunch of 400s, bunch of longer ones, bunch of kilometers. And I'm just learning how to run again. It's only been this week though, so I've been trying to do that. I think I posted a story on my Instagram that I told everyone that I wanted to learn how to run, and if they had any tips, they can reach out. I actually had a couple of people reach out.
Why do you want to run more?
I have no idea. I'm bad at it. I hate it. I'm bad at it, and I don't like being bad at something, I guess.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that lots. Sometimes I'll do three to 4 runs per week. Some of them are faster, some of them are slower, some of them are very slow. And it's only been this week that my calves and my ankles are actually not killing me. Like it's, I don't know if I had a better stride, or I don't know if I'm just getting used to it more.
Yeah.
But
probably getting used to it overall.
Thinking about increasing the volume for next week and the week after that. See how she goes. I've still been lifting heavy though.
Yeah.
Still lifting heavy. I feel like the program is a lot more simple for me. Like at this point, it's just sticking with the basics. So, for example, I ran just a steady pace 4 kilometers yesterday, and then after that, I just did 10 sets of 5 deadlifts at 265.
That's not heavy.
I know that. Fairly heavy. And that's pretty much right after the run. So, but a little different. You know how a lot of people will like lift weights first and then go for a run or go for a cardio piece?
Yeah.
I kind of want to prioritize the cardio piece. Like I don't want anything messing with the cardio piece just because I'm so bad at it.
Mm-hmm.
Getting better. Starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. Well, not comfortable, but like I'm just comfortable being uncomfortable, I guess, in some of those runs. So.
Yeah. Do you have any aspirations to compete in CrossFit or anything like that again, or?
Well, now that you talk about that, my birthday was just the past weekend. I'm technically in a master's category now, 35 to 39.
Yeah.
So all the workouts are a little easier now.
Perfect.
Perfect.
That's what you're looking for.
But to compete, I don't know. I don't think I do it for fun. I don't think I do it to compete.
To be competitive with it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not, at least my head's not there right now. Maybe at some point.
The head's not there, and I think you're lacking time.
For what?
To be able to put in that kind of true work.
Especially when the gym opens back up.
Between work, between your work and your clients and your family and extracurricular hobbies, kind of tapping out.
Yep.
Like even we struggled to get this done the past 2 weeks. It's all
Struggled
your
what?
fault. To get the podcast hosted.
Yeah,
It's all your fault.
right. I just don't have time. Oh man. What about you? What's going on?
My stomach, I feel like, is slowly coming around.
You still drinking coffee?
No, so I cut alcohol completely, and when I was drinking alcohol, it was maybe like a beer, 1 or 2 beers every couple of nights or whatever. So I've cut all alcohol. I've had to cut coffee and any processed sugars and most processed foods. Now, it's been coming around, but I think the big change was cutting all of that stuff, and I got hooked into a really quality probiotic. So I was talking to my doctor, and she hooked me up with this website that kind of has a like research backed probiotics, and she said there's so many probiotics on the shelf that are just they're not there, right? Like the bacteria that you're trying to get is not actually viable.
Mm-hmm.
So this website's called probioticchart.ca, and it's got a bunch of probiotics on, but there's only 36 probiotics that it says are like research backed to actually clinically be proven to work. And I was taking a probiotic. I think the probiotic I was taking was like Jameson's brand, kind of just like your generic multivitamin brand. And it's not here, being that it's not been research backed to actually work. So I started taking a new probiotic called Align. And probiotics take a couple of weeks for them to kick in. And I'm on like week maybe 3 now. So about 2.5. And I am feeling better every day. Still like little issues here and there. But I would say I'm getting better daily on a basis of like maybe 1 to 2% every day. Every day I kind of get a 1% boost or a 2% boost. So I'm not kicking up real fast.
Mm-hmm.
But today is probably the best I've felt in a really long time. And I've started cranking up some intensity in my workout. I think give it like maybe 2 more weeks and I'll probably be ready to kind of start going hard here if I keep doing what I'm doing. But I've been playing around with, obviously, with a lot of handstand work, getting smoother on my kick up. Once I have a handstand, I can find balance and I can hold it forever, but it's like I want consistency in the kick up. I don't really feel like I require the strength right now in the handstand, because once I'm up there, I feel like I can stay up there all day. It's more of like trying to get a nice, beautiful, controlled press into it rather than kind of a sporadic, like trying to find balance all the time. And then also been working on my flexibility in my hamstrings and my like hip compression to be able to like fold into myself better so I can push and do things like that. So that's kind of been my personal focus. I've just been torn on so many aspects and realms of fitness, and I'm sure you can understand, like, I want to be a great Olympic lifter, but I also want to be not like a power lifter, but I want at least the tinge of strength of a power lifter. Like if I could be a quality Olympic lifter and be able to deadlift 500 pounds and have a beautiful handstand and gymnastic skill, like I just want so much of it. But I feel like in order to really progress in one area, I need to focus on it more. So my Olympic lifting's kind of gone on the back burner right now. And it's mostly just been about flexibility and gymnastics. I've been playing on my rings more. Have you heard of, like, we've talked about it with Curtis, like his ring thing? Do you remember him saying that?
Yeah.
That's actually a real thing. I actually Googled it, like ring thing. They sell it. So what it is, it's like for your gymnastics rings, all it is the rings are mounted on a pulley system. So the rings come down and then the ropes go into the pulley system and then attached to a belt. And it basically cuts your body weight in half. So
offsets your weight, yep.
You can do more complex movements. They sell ring thing setups for $350 US, bro. And it's just 2 pulleys and string. It's nuts.
Well, so that's something you can just make.
Once the gym is reopened, I had a spare pair of rings that I lent out to a buddy. Once the gym is reopened, I'm going to request for my rings back. And in the garage, I'm going to take the rings that are currently up and I'm going to move them over. And then I'm going to set up another set of rings here. And then I'm going to build a ring thing. And then when you come over for working out and shit, like you'll be able to do an iron cross. Like, like iron crosses, or like for for a guy like you per se, like I think you struggle a little bit with a really beautiful strict ring muscle up. You'll be able to focus on getting that proper compression down here because your body weight's cut in half. And then you
Yeah.
can focus on doing like more endurance, like more muscular
Get up to
endurance with
yeah.
it type stuff. And then like playing with levers and stuff. So I'm kind of excited to get that hooked up. I kind of just feeling more playful with my workouts and more creative. Like I want to build this ring thing so I can be more playful with that. I would like to take some time during summer and build a pegboard. I almost want you to come over to the garage though and kind of just like analyze like, should we put the
Where
pegboard here or should we put a pegboard across this beam here? We're either crawling up or we're crawling across. You know what I mean? Like
both,
I kind of just want to just make some playful things for the garage.
we'll do both.
Okay. So overall,
So the
stomach.
focus of your workouts have been just to like
It's
mostly gymnastics then?
it's been flexibility and handstands. The other part of flexibility is I'm really bad at like extension in my mid to upper back. So like trying to do a back bend bridge, I've been having to like go on the ground and load into that, and I've just been pushing to my limit, and just kind of like you can feel the spine open up a little bit, and I'll push, push, push,
Yeah.
and then I'll come down again, and then I'll push, and each time I rep it, I get a little bit more range. So especially because I haven't been feeling 100%, I've found EMOMs have been holding me more accountable to actually getting things done, and then I'll just try to program the intensity accordingly. So I'll program like an EMOM of like 3 handstand kickups, meaning I have to like feel confident that when I kick, I found balance and then come down. So I'll be like minute 1, 3 handstand kickups, minute 2, 10-second L sit, minute 3, 10 back bridges. And I'll run that for like normally 20 minutes or something like that. And then I'll do a lot of core compression work. So it's been very gymnastics focused, but it's just kind of what I'm enjoying right now.
I've
Do I
utilized
feel
EMOMs. I've utilized EMOMs a lot, like the last few weeks
I
for
think
weightlifting.
they're my favorite style of program, I think. Because again, me and you have discussed this, but even like for a bodybuilder, let's say, if you're gonna do 5 sets of 10 bench press with a 1 minute rest in between so you can hit some failure, you can basically set an EMOM timer at 1 minute and 20 seconds for 5 rounds. And just because it's a consistent clock always going, it just holds you more accountable and you're less
Yeah,
likely to get distracted. Even if you're gonna like go on your phone or talk to a friend or whatever, that
yeah,
EMOM clock, you're like, oh shit, oh damn, it's going, like, and you got to keep going,
yeah.
otherwise it can kind of get ahead of you, right? So EMOM is definitely my favorite style of program. I
I enjoy it a lot. It keeps me accountable.
Yeah, AMRAP is more of like AMRAPs and rounds for time are more just, again, you can kind of control the intensity, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well, unless you just like don't want to stop moving, like you're like, I got 20 minutes flat, I'm just gonna not
yeah.
stop moving.
Well, see, again, for me, let's say the AMRAP and the for time workouts, I used to program those things a lot. Not so much anymore. Like I'd probably program that. Still giving advice to people or even myself that you still want this at about 85%, 85 to 90%. Like you don't want a red line. You don't want to be dumb and like not even finish the workout, right? But for time and AMRAPs are more of like a test workouts. I think EMOMs or even like shorter AMRAPs with rest in betweens are more training. So when we talk about, again, being competitive, learning skills or skill acquisition, and then training, those are all different parts that I think you should still be able to do all of them. But obviously majority of your training should be in like the mid moderate intensity and just build up from there. Testing wise, again, same as like a powerlifting, like a block or a cycle. It's you don't test every week
Yeah.
to see if your max has gone up. You know what I mean? Like
The other thing I was gonna say too, this is going backwards a little bit. Like coffee definitely upsets my stomach, but I'm still looking for a little bit of caffeine. And I've never been a tea guy. I just don't like tea. So I've been kind of switching. It's not ideal, but I've been switching to energy drinks, and I'll treat myself to an energy drink like once every 2 days or whatever. So like this is Monster, but it kind of helps give me a little bit of that caffeine fix. And there's a shitload of sugar in here, but it doesn't necessarily piss off my stomach like coffee does.
Mhm.
I think though the way my coffee is going, I think that there'll be a future where I can get back on coffee. I just need to let all that good bacteria kind of beat out that bad bacteria, find balance in my gut flora before I start going back to alcohol or coffee or the things that we enjoy as a treat.
Yeah. Nutrition wise, have you changed anything, or is it just coffee?
Like I
Like, are
said,
you
cut
eating more
out.
vegetable? Are you eating more meat? Are you eating more red meat? Is it more chicken? Like,
I'm eating more vegetables. Um, so breakfast was always like eggs, bacon, toast, and fruit. But and then vegetables was kind of shoddy. Now I'm always doing like a huge ass serving of either kale or spinach or tomatoes. Um, and then the other thing that I've been doing is like I've increased my fiber intake by quite a bit. So I bought this is actually under Curtis's recommendation, all the super seeds. So I have flax seeds, chia seeds, and hemp hearts. And I'll normally every day do a bowl of oatmeal with like 2 tablespoons of each of those seeds. And that kind of gives you both of your fibers, soluble and insoluble. And your fiber kind of does two things. It basically it makes your poop more solid, and then it also kind of lubes the
makes it a
tunnel.
little, yeah.
Lubes the tunnel. You know what I mean, bro? So
No, explain. I don't know.
like it is a tunnel, LJ. If it was a tunnel, it lubes it. You know.
Oh,
So
wow.
I think more vegetables, increase fiber intake, and just cut out way more processed food. I know I said I cut out processed sugar and shit, and obviously I'm drinking a Monster, but more of like no chocolate, no candy, no chips, things like that. Like I had like maybe a quarter of a chocolate bar a week ago with Diane, and
Yeah.
that set my stomach off.
What about dairy products?
Mostly cut
Cream,
out
milk,
dairy. Most
cheese.
mostly cut out most dairy. I've started buying almond milk now, and I've been drinking chocolate almond milk and vanilla almond milk. And I haven't been doing cream because I'm not having coffee. And then cheese is limited. Diane and I will still do. We normally do like a pizza once every 2 weeks type shit. So I've still been eating a pizza every now and then,
Mhm.
but the effect that the pizza had on me a month ago versus the pizza having on me now is completely different.
Like what?
Like it used to just
Uh,
upset my stomach. I had like so much like bloating and gas and issues in my stomach, and I'd be burping constantly, just kind of like all these gross feelings that you don't want. And now, like I eat breakfast and I almost feel normal again. And it was so I actually so like we told on the last episode or the episode previously that I've been talking to kind of like a therapist, and she told me that I actually need to talk to you, and we haven't had this talk yet, so first time for you. But
oh,
during this time, with my stomach being so bad, I was feeling so weak, so energy depleted, and I just had no juice. And even like I'd go and work out with you or see you. Um, well, no, well, this has been an issue for a long time, right? Like this has been a year. I'd work out with you before COVID, and I just like couldn't go, or I would turn you down because I just had no fuel, right?
mhm.
And I told her, I'm like, man, this is so debilitating to not be able to perform at my peak strength. Like I just feel so useless. And if I have a bad workout, it ruins my day. And I talked about you and I told her how like you battled rhabdo. And she's like, that's probably how LJ felt for a while there, like he was struggling. And I kind of, I can't say that you were super upset, but I definitely remember you struggling being like, like slowly getting back into it. You just kind of do the skier or the rower and you would kind of almost, or just be on the air bike and like you definitely weren't at your full strength. But me being at my full strength, like if I tried to do a workout and I would fail because it was too much, it would ruin my day.
Yeah.
Like my whole day was shot after that, and I was just miserable. And she's like, you can't let, like, it's not ideal that if I have a shitty workout, it's dictating the rest of my day. Like bad workout means my day's ruined. It's a write off.
Mm-hmm.
Like that shouldn't happen, right?
Yeah. And I think that's when, again, depending on where you're at, like when I was recovering from rhabdo and then like a 4.5 week vacation from the Philippines. So altogether it was like 12 weeks that I didn't train. Like I think I worked out one time before I left, and then I worked out one time when I was in the Philippines, and then I came back and I'm like, you know what, I'm just ready to move now. But like pressing 65 pounds to 95 pounds overhead was a struggle.
Yeah.
To like just stay on the rower. I'm like, my hips are just tight, my low back's a little this, I'm like, I'm just not at full capacity. And then I'm not gonna name names, but there were like people in the gym that was kind of tripping me. Like, what kind of workout is this?
Yeah.
Come on, bro, do some real workout and stuff. And I'm just like, I'm just tuning people out, and I'm just in the rower. I'm just in the rower, doing the skier, do the bike, do light dumbbells.
So what I wanted to know though, or what I was like supposed to talk to you about was it ruining your days sometimes? Like, because it was really affecting me in a negative mindset. I'm just wanting to know if you had your days too, or if you were able to kind of get through it easier.
No, I just, again, from zero movement to some movement, I already know I was going to get better anyway. I already know I'm projecting towards getting better anyway.
Yeah.
So for me, that was like the case, right? Like even now, and that's why I think I've been running and I've been exploring more. I'm just thankful, like my arthritis has not flared up, right? I've been walking, I can run, I can do everything. And I've found that appreciation for slow movements or easy training is actually so beneficial in the long run. And I feel like that's what's taking care of me right now. That's why I don't have any injuries. I feel better, right? Like I almost feel like it was about 3 years ago, I think, when I joined a CrossFit gym, right? And now that it's been about 7 weeks, 8 weeks of this COVID stuff, and I was in a facility where I still have access to equipment, and I have stuff in my basement, and I'm not dealing with a lot of people. I've actually focused on how I feel about workouts. How can I slowly just progress myself, and not put a ton of pressure, like, well, you've done this before, you should be able to do it again. No, not really. And I think I've actually surpassed, from consistency and strength, I've surpassed my old self in just about 8-9 weeks time.
See,
Of just being focused on how I feel and how do I want to, attack this workout.
I think what was really affecting me when it started getting worse was the fact that I didn't see any light at the end of the tunnel, because it was going on for so long. And then I went to the doctor and I got blood work done and I had stool samples done, and they're like, Eric, everything's perfect. Like, we don't know what's going on. Like, and just like taking probiotics and cutting things out and trying to do better. And then I would like start to kind of have like a good week, and then I would just, for no reason, I wouldn't introduce coffee or anything back then. Like, I would just be like, wow, things are working, everything's good. And then I would just tank again. So I think it was definitely a combination of, like, per se, having a bad workout, but then no light at the end of the tunnel, like not seeing improvement. Whereas now, again, I'm not perfect, but I feel like there's incremental improvements happening slowly, and I like can see a light at the end of the tunnel where like I might be able to go hard again soon. And that's probably the best feeling. I haven't even gone hard for a while, but just thinking about doing it, it's like, ooh, can't wait to go hard again. I want to do something crazy. Like, I want to do some big lifts or some nasty workouts.
Yeah, I crave those. I haven't done a lot of those, but I crave those, absolutely. I actually have done a few, like a couple of weeks ago, last week. I'll do one or two like nastier workouts in a week.
Yeah.
But
You're
again, I think I've, huh?
You're the king of bullshit. Oh, it's not that bad. It looks pretty easy. And then 2 hours later, you're like, you look like a car accident victim. Like you just got hit by a car, and you're like, wow, I didn't see that car coming at all. It was a bus.
Yeah.
How did you not see that bus?
And I think before I've done a lot of workouts that almost feels like a test every time.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm mastering, just because there's no distractions whatsoever in the gym for me, or even at home, like when I train, sometimes I would have a workout at 8:30 at night.
Yeah.
Right? There's just no distraction. I think I'm starting to master what training should actually feel like, as opposed to like competing or like always being in that threshold, like
Yeah.
I'm actually enjoying like 65 to like 85%
Yes.
capacity and just getting better. Because again, if my 85% today, and if I just work on my 85% and make that better, that makes my 100% better, to be honest.
Yeah. It's definitely a different approach. Like when I was younger and I was just bodybuilding, everything was like you leave it all on the table. Complete failure on everything. You just leave it all on the table. If you still had energy at the end of your workout, or if you didn't have a vicious pump or like could still move, you're like, wow, I just trained biceps, but my arm still works. It was all about like complete and utter destruction.
Yeah. No.
And now I won't do that. Even if I was going to bodybuild right now, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd
No,
put
I
some
don't.
on the table, but
Not even close.
Yeah.
I don't even go close to that. Where I tap into almost like testing, because again, I'm trying to increase my aerobic capacity. Some of the tempo runs that I do, some of them are pretty rough. Like I would do 6 to 8 sets of like 400. It's like a 400-meter run and then a 400-meter walk. And then when I do the run, it's actually like a run, and then I try and test myself. Can I hold this pace for another 400? And then if I can, for the next set or next couple of sets, can I hold this for the next 8 sets? So it's those are the ones that are kind of like testing me right now, or making it hard for me right now. But I'm just enjoying the process. Again, if I can't, then I know to back off next week or the week after that. Just back off a little bit. I guess I'm not rushing to be fit anymore. Like before, I'm like, oh, CrossFit Open's gonna happen real soon. It's gonna happen in February, March. Oh, I gotta be ready for that. Barbell cycling, all this stuff. I gotta be able to do high intensity. I gotta know how it feels, so my body's not shocked when I need to do it. But right now, I'm like, you know what? The goal is, it's actually not competing. It's actually just to be better. So. Yeah, and I feel like I'm better, and I'm able to push to the limits a lot better right now than I have before.
Yeah, like I really appreciate being pain free because I was injured for a while. So being pain free, like even I told Diane, like I wasn't feeling my 100%, but I ran an EMOM of like cleans, and I used to hate squat cleans. But I ran an EMOM of like just 135 squat clean, 2 reps every minute for 10 minutes. And then I did a bunch of gymnastics work after that. I ran 2 EMOMs, and to not feel any sort of discomfort or pain in regards to injury. Like my muscles kind of felt a little tired the next day, but having zero pain, I was like, I moved well. My core was bracing properly. Like everything was in line. And we're talking like the movements that I'm doing, Olympic weightlifting and gymnastics, they're very complex movements.
Yep.
It's not like doing a bicep curl or a lat pull down. Like you got to be moving with a high level of quality to not hurt yourself. So to be able to like perform at like high functioning movements like that at a relative intensity and not feel any kind of like, this is off, feels weird, this is off. Because even when we met, like maybe call it 2 years ago now, we started working out together, I was still having a little bit of dysfunction here and there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I was constantly battling slight dysfunction. So things.
Yeah, I remember that when we do squats and stuff, like bothers your back.
Yeah. But yeah, it's coming around.
Good
maybe
stuff.
2 more weeks, and we can see each other.
Soon enough, we will. Maybe sooner than that. Maybe we can train. I'll do some gymnastics with you. I'll do some gymnastics with you if you do some runs with me.
Then the keyboard warriors will come. You guys shouldn't be hanging out together. You're gonna get sick.
Right.
I was actually thinking about I need to run a little bit because I knew you were gonna want to, you bastard. I was like, damn, I better start running a little bit. And I was thinking about my approach to it. I'm actually being a little bit more smarter, kinder to myself. I used to be able to think like, oh, 5K run, I can go and run a 5K run. I'm like, well, I haven't ran for a long time. Why would I go and just run a 5K? Why not pick a destination? Like, I almost want to record on my watch, and I have a regular dog walk I do with Koba. I almost want to record it and see how many K that is. And then once I know how big that is, then gauge on how I want to approach it in a smart way. Well, I'm going to run to this little landmark first, and then I'm going to walk to this landmark, then I'm going to run to this landmark and walk, and then just see how I feel. And if it was easy, I'll crank it up next time. And if I got destroyed, then I'll adjust accordingly, instead of just like, this is what we're doing, like here to here, like 0 to 100.
Yeah. If there's one thing that I've learned, because I try and read articles too about running, and I'm trying to learn about it a little bit more, right? Like one, and again, a lot of people might disagree with this. And if you're a runner, I would love to learn. Reach out to us. But one constant message that all these guys send out, and these guys are like highest level triathletes and marathon runners and stuff. You got to run slow a lot to run fast. Meaning you really got to build that endurance very slowly.
Gotcha.
To be able to have that longevity and have like that almost untouchable aerobic capacity.
So are you talking like if I was to go running, or if I wanted to build my run up, are you talking about speed? Like I have to run slow in the speed, like a very
slower.
Jog?
Yeah, slower runs. Slower runs are very valuable. Like basically putting volume and miles and running slow is what's going to make you run fast later on. Obviously, tempo runs, intervals, that's what's going to build it up. But you got to, it's like you got to learn how to walk before you learn how to run, kind of thing.
Have you taken the basketball out on your runs yet? 5K dribble?
Oh, that'd be easy.
I'm surprised you haven't, actually.
That'd be easy. I've been doing that here.
Yeah, but it's just like it would make the run more unique and playful, right?
Yeah. I've done that a lot of times, actually.
It's a 5K basketball run.
Yeah.
Speaking of basketball, you have at the gym there a mini pro basketball hoop and a net. The ball is about like palm size, right? And it's like a legit setup. $50 on Amazon, man. I was so close to doing it, but I bought that hammock instead.
Yeah.
So I got a hammock that I'm going to set up, and I'm like, I couldn't justify both.
I would have gone for the net. I
couldn't justify both, man, but I wanted that hammock so bad.
Activity or relax. Oof.
Yeah. The hammock, though, is more about the social thing, right? Like with the social distancing and all that stuff, COVID maybe slowing down a little bit. You know, we'll be going outside more and barbecues outside and things like that. And that hammock is like a to-go hammock. It comes in a big case, and you put all the poles together and link it up. It's really quality. Just throw it over your back. Like people be taking out camping chairs and shit to places. I'll be taking out a big-ass hammock.
Well, I guess I won't be inviting you to my yard because it's pretty small. You'll take up all the space.
I'll take up some space.
Oh,
that'd be dope.
Well, that was I think that was a good chat.
It's been too long.
Too long. Sorry, guys. And if you made it this far, we would like to thank you for listening. Thanks for your support, and we miss you.
And we will see you. Oh, what are we going to talk about? This is Monday's episode. Wednesday podcast. You want to talk about what I was discussing before?
Sure.
Wednesday, we're going to be talking a little bit about
ice cream.
You always want to talk about ice cream.
Actually, I don't want to talk. I just want to eat it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't even talk about it.
We're going to chat about letting other people have control of your emotions. Something that I wanted to talk about. I've been thinking a little bit about. So if you're interested,
it's going to be Eric's baby. Yes.
Kind of. But if you're interested in that chat, tune in Wednesday. For now, we'll catch you guys later.
Love you guys.